Hi guys, welcome back. Well, last week I kicked off this challenge, and it was could AI create me a training plan that makes me stronger on Zwift without spending money on a coach. That first week was all about sticking to the plan, but honestly, it felt a little bit dull. I mainly rode Zone 2 and just steady endurance work. Well, it did serve a purpose, it wasn't much fun. So week 2, I kept using AI to structure my plan, but also took some advice from some other riders. So I mixed things up. So Zone 2 group rides, climbing portal sessions, a solid set of races to kind of test my legs. So let's have a breakdown of what I did, and let's see if this smarter approach made a difference. So I went back to ChatGPT and asked it to write my second week of program then. And with that, it does have memory, so it does remember what it did the week before, and it can tailor it. So here's what week 2 looked like then. So I started it with a Zone 2 group ride on Monday, raced a ladder event on Tuesday, I then hit Z racing on Wednesday, added a bit of an endurance with the climb portal on Thursday, raced CESU tour on Friday, and then I kind of wrapped the week up with a steady climb portal on Saturday. On Sunday, a bit of well-earned rest before we start again on Monday. So Monday then, I kicked off and I did the Jasper Philipsen ride along on Croissant, which I thought was quite handy because it was going to be on the Z racing, and the CESU was basically Bon Voyage, which was 3 laps of Croissant. And then when I checked, it didn't record. So luckily, Zwift had saved these few 15-second clips for us, which were post the ride. But I just did 30 minutes with that group ride, and then I stayed on for another 15 minutes and just kept it at Zone 2 all the way, and just kind of used it as a recce for later on in the week. But it was pretty steady throughout, and it was definitely a lot better than the Zone 2 stuff I was doing the week before. A lot of people in the chat were keeping us occupied, so it was quite good. It was a decent end to Monday. So on to Tuesday then. So Tuesday was a rematch with Coalition Xeon on going coastal in a ladder match. And let me tell you, this one was spicy from the start. You can see flame socks everywhere. And it went hell for leather from the beginning. So we came into this with a pretty solid plan. We were going to try and send 2 up the road and let Xeon chase. And then once Xeon had chased them down, we were going to continue sending attacks. So this was going to be a really high tempo race. And we were just going to hope that our tactic of kind of wearing them down would work. So we kept the pace high, and then Dave decided to break away. So we essentially sat up because we were at the front, and that disrupted the coalition rhythm, and he managed to get a little bit of a gap. And unfortunately this time they'd been chasing everything else down on previous ones, but they didn't chase this one down as quick. So maybe the 3 minutes before of constant attacks had done a little bit of damage. I think noticing the danger, Coalition attacked and tried to get up the road and chase down Dave, and that again ramped up the pace for everyone. The pack was wholly strung out again, and we're putting a shift in. And not long after that, we were all kind of back together again and waiting out for the next lot of attacks. So as we agreed to take turns, it was my turn to go off the front, although I think I telegraphed it a little bit because I didn't get very far without someone from coalition. In this case, it was Colin. Colin chased almost everything down, and I noticed pretty much straight away he was onto the back of my wheel, and I knew I was never going to be able to break away solo. So as soon as he went past, I sat up and let the pack get back on. Soon as the pack got back on then, Dave was feeling really strong, so he attacked again. But I think Coalition's big hitters had been chasing everything else down, so Dave managed to get a break again. And at this point, Aled comes on the radio and says he's going to bridge to Dave. And just as Aled decides to go for his bridge, we do find out that Coalition riders had a mechanical, but we didn't know about it. And Aled had already started attacking. So unfortunately, we weren't going to ease up. This is racing, and also quite dangerously, he was their biggest sprinter. So it's that moral thing: do we sit up, even though we still already had a guy up the road? Some would, some wouldn't, but this is a race, so we'll take it how it is. At this point then, we've now got Dave and Aled up the road, and Coalition are chasing like mad, and the three of us, so me, Coach and Dylan, are just not going to do any work at all, and just try and let them get up the road. So there's now three of us here with the 4 Coalition riders, and they've obviously still got one off the back, and we're not going to do any work initially, and then we did realise that one of the things they wanted to do was kind of ease up as much as they could to try and let their 5th rider get back on, and we kind of don't want that. But equally, we want our guys to get as big a lead as possible, so if they are easing up to let their rider back on, that does mean our 2 out front are extending, and then it would have become a 5v3 for the final places, but we'll see how it unfolds. So round about now, we just kind of push to the front, because their rider has closed the gap quite a bit because of them slowing the pace down. So the three of us decide that we need to kind of go on the offensive. Dave and Aled have got 46 seconds up ahead, and they are absolutely smashing it. So we do go to the front and decide to push on a little bit. And as we push on, we do start to drop some of the Coalition riders. We do later on find out that some of them decided to kind of hang back a little bit to give to dangle, to give their rider something to aim onto, but we smelt blood in the water, so we just between the three of us we pushed on, and at this stage 2 Coalition riders do come with us. So now with those 2 up the road, we've dropped 3 of the Coalition team, and there's now 3 of us and 2 of them, so it's a 3v2 for the minor places. But this being a ladder race, all of those places count, and I'll be honest with you, I am hurting. This is a rapid pace. So at this point we kind of notice E. Mitchell struggling a little bit, so the 3 of us kind of put down on some of these inclines, and we start to notice that we got a 2-second gap to him, and we just push on. Coach and Dylan push on strong, and I am clinging on for dear life, I'm not going to lie, but the feather come in handy, and then once it's got to 3 seconds, and it raises to 4 quite quickly, and there's quite a difficult time for that individual to try and get back on. Then I keep dangling off the back and realising I need to stay a little bit closer, so I do have to put another short burst in just to get back onto the wheel. So we know we've got this one now. Coach come on the radio because he's got the he reckons he's got the worst sprint out of all of us and says he's going to go a little bit earlier. So we initially don't follow, but Darren Mackey does. So we do have to then follow, and these places don't matter now, because if he beats, even if he beats Coach to third, we've got all 5 of the TMP riders in the top 6. So there's no need to burn any unnecessary matches here for me. I would be more than happy to come in 6th place, even though I'm quite a competitive individual. I just don't think I need to go for a sprint on this. But the competitive racer in me says finish strong, so I did get out the saddle and pump the pedals a little bit. I think we were worried that Darren Mackey had caught Coach and went round him, but he didn't give in either, and he sprinted all the way to the line with him. I really didn't see the point in continue to sprint, because it didn't matter if I overtook Dylan. It didn't matter if I competed against him. I don't think I would have caught him, if I'm honest, but we didn't need to, because ultimately we won, right? We got the top out of the top 6 places. We got 5 of our riders in there, and we retained the belt. And for us, that was 2-0 against Coalition Xeon. And as you can see, I'm bent over in bobbins because that was rapid. So on to Wednesday then. So I jumped on stage 1, the Z Racing Series, and this is Ale Ale Ale. And it's on Croissant, which seems to be the theme of the week. But I'm in the 5:10 to 6:50. I think at this stage I was something like 5:09 something. But it was a reasonably decent field of like 18 riders. And this was, of it being Tuesday, it was still pretty busy. But again, another fast race. So on this then, I did have Matt, who's a teammate of mine from Team Not Poggy. And what I wanted to do was sit in the pack and not do much. But Matt kept pushing off the front and pushing the pace. And I'm not going to leave a teammate hanging, so I went with him. And we did try to break things up, because it was getting a little bit stale even in the first minute or so. It's a pretty flat course, so they kind of reined us in pretty quickly, and you just sit up and rest as much as you can. I did notice though that every time we come up to these rollers, these 3% rollers, the pace kind of ramped up a little bit, and you had to be kind of mindful and make sure that you stay with it, because it's an easy place to get dropped, and there's quite a few riders struggling on this bit. But if you've got the steamroller, it is a good place to use it. I think, I'm not really 100%, but I think that was Matt off the front again. He did quite a big effort to kind of try and stay away on this, but the pack dynamics are quite tough. So the pack always moves faster than an individual as such. So I've moved on to kind of midway through lap 2, and I'm feeling alright. So I pushed to the front, and I see Matt come up behind me, and I just decided to try and push on a little bit between the two of us. And no one seems to follow to start with, so I just put my head down and just ramp up the watts a little bit, not too crazy so people say orange numbers, but trying to keep it above 4 or 5 watts per kilo. And we do start initially to pull away, and what I did check afterwards was I did get a new 1 minute power on this, so I was quite happy with that. But I thought when we had that 1 second that they were going to let us go, because no one decided to chase. But then one guy decides to bridge, and if that one person decides to bridge, then the next one decides to bridge. before you know it, the pack's back on you, and a bit of a wasted effort. But if you don't try these things, you'll never know. So we'll pick up with 800 metres to go on lap 2. Lap 1, after that initial part on the lead-in, it was very uneventful, no more attacks, nothing. So we're into the last 800 metres, and the pace goes through the roof. Matt was trying to say for me to stay on his wheel and he was going to draft me to a win, but I think after those attacks and how high the pace has been, I haven't really got it in me. So I am just surfing the wheels, and I'm kind of waiting to use my steamroller on this next roller here. But the pack's really stretched out, and I think I've maybe just left it that little bit too late. And then I get out the saddle and I start preparing my sprint. And I did think that I would be lucky to get in the top 10. But I just start smashing down on the pedals in the hope that I can maybe nick a few more places. And I think if I'd started just that little bit more, I might have got a little bit further up. But I think I finished in 6th on this, 5th on Zwift Power, and I've got to be happy with that. So on to Thursday then. Well, after a bit of travelling home and a little bit of motivation from some other people and my wife, because I was complaining that I had a 45-minute zone 2 to do after the travelling I'd done, I jumped on this, which was Tour Fever. So the climb portal was all about getting this and getting the DD the Devil kit. So I needed to complete all 4 climb portals, and then I'll get the kit. I'm going to do 2 tonight. So the first one then was about 15 minutes. It was alright, it wasn't too bad. I kept it at zone 2. I didn't want to push on the pedals or anything like that. But once I'd done that, I just jumped straight over and jumped onto the second one. The second one was about 28 minutes, ended up being about 35 with the descending, and I just kept pushing on the pedals just to keep ramping it up. But I did unlock the one jersey, and that was Thursday complete. So Friday, the one I was probably most nervous about, the CESU Tour Stage 1, mass start then, and as you can see, I'm in the 520 to 690, which in this case was categorised as B. So my aim for this then was to dig out blind and try and hold on to the A-Cat riders, who will hopefully get some draft off them and get dragged along as best I can. As Zwift race starts go, let me tell you, this was absolutely rapid. Those A and A plus riders really did kind of push on, and I think some people, I've seen a few other videos streamed. Some people didn't last very, very long at all, and it just kind of showed really how tough this race was. So kind of one thing before this race, I'd actually been to the doctors during the day, and the thing with this is a few people have mentioned on some of my videos that I've had quite a bad cough and stuff like that, and I do have asthma, but I had a routine appointment at the doctors, and they checked my asthma and checked my hay fever, and said the hay fever was kicking my backside and affecting my asthma. So did a little bit of research. The doctor changed a few things up, give me some much stronger antihistamines and a different inhaler to use. And believe it or not, just before this race, I honestly felt it was the first time I could breathe properly in a good couple of weeks. I didn't feel congested, I didn't feel bunged up, and I didn't have a cough. So it shouldn't really work that quick. Maybe it's a bit of placebo, but equally, I definitely think the antihistamine did, and I could just really breathe. So even when the pace is as rapid as it is now, I'm still managing to kind of suck in some oxygen. So as the race is getting strung out, I do kind of like small surges with high watts just to try and make sure that I stay on the pack. And I am deciding to race a little bit smarter on this and stay as further forward as I can, because I know that these A and A plus riders are going to push on, and I haven't got a space in this to kind of droop back, because if gaps are formed, then I might not have enough in me to kind of cover them. But also, this route Bon Voyage is 3 loops of croissant, so I kind of know the route and I know where I need to save me power-ups for that them rollers. What was great on this then, we had loads of teammates from Team Nopoggy in here, and having them around me really did make me work hard to try and stay with them. And you can see my heart rate's up. It's 169, it's nearly 170, and I am grafting. Okay, after about 15 minutes in, I do kind of look up in the corner and realise I'm on roughly about a 370 watt average, and I don't think I can hold this. But actually the draft is really helping, and then as we get onto these rollers here, the pace just goes through the roof, and you can see orange numbers from some riders, and you've just got to really stay on the pedals here. If there's a place that you're going to get dropped, it's going to be here. So I save me power up for the next kind of incline, because again, once you get over the top, that's a bit of a decline. So if someone can get away now's probably the time that's going to happen. But these A+ riders are really pushing us along here. So I've got to work extremely hard. You see my heart rate's back up into the 180s now. What I didn't realise was obviously all the sprints were in play, because I might have went for them, but I'm glad I didn't, because I managed to hold on to the pack for a lot longer than I was expecting. So out of kind of 294 riders, we've got a pack, I think they're about 34 still with us here then, and I'm actually feeling all right, even though my watt average at the 20 odd minute point is still like 368. I'm still all right. And funny enough, then one of my teammates realizes how the hell am I still here? At that point, it cut out. My MacBook had full memory, so it stopped the record. So I was absolutely devastated with that. Luckily, Zwift still stayed on, and I stayed on. I managed to stay with the front group and with the A's, and sprint to second with the B cat. And with that, I got a new FTP. I'm not surprised. So what was a surprise is I'm now sat second in the CESU Tour in the B cat. And I've looked at the remaining ones from Saturday and Sunday, and I'm still sat second, so massive surprise, and it means I'm going to have to work hard in the next stage. But the thing I'm most chuffed with is the team result, having both the A and B in third, and the C in the E category pushing on as well. Honestly, it's such a great team effort, and having all those strong riders around you really is kind of making the rest of us a lot stronger. As they say, iron sharpens iron. So on to Saturday then, decided to jump on the climb portal. I've already completed 2 stages, so I want to complete the third one. Always the point to note, make sure you're on the right bike. I was on a time trial bike, so I decided to make sure that I got some nice light wheels, and I was looking around to see which my lightest ones were, and then I'll jump on my Canyon Air Road, because it's close to me stage 5 upgrade, so every single kilometre counts on that one. And then over onto the climb portal, and you'll see I've already completed the 2 stages the other day. Just decided to jump on a third one. It says it should be about an hour and 15 minutes, but I am going to do it at kind of zone 1, zone 2. So I don't think an hour and 15 minutes is my aim. I'm kind of aiming for 90-95 minutes because I just want to take it nice and leisurely up there. So those new to climb portals, they normally have a lead in the normal world. In this case, it's about 2.5 kilometres. It's just quite rolling, and that'll take you to the base of the portal. So as you approach the portal, then you'll see that I've selected 100% elevation. So it's 1,023 metres of climbing at average 8.1%. I can go back on this once I've completed this one and go and do it at 125. percent elevation, but I don't think I'm going to. And then as you push through that climb portal, you'll see it all changes, and everything comes up on the screen to kind of denote what's going to be happening next then. So as you'll see, I have 12.7 kilometers of climbing to do, and it's given me a rough ETA of in the 90-minute range, which is kind of what I wanted. And you'll see now there it's readjusted, and it's given me how many meters I've got left as well, so over 1,000 meters then, and expecting around 90 odd minutes. So as you can see, as I enter kind of zone 5, I've completed the first 5 zones in about 30 odd minutes, and the ETA keeps going up and down. I've kept a steady pace all the way. I've kept it in gear 12, and I'm looking pretty steady in zone 1, zone 2 all the way. Even though my competitiveness wants me to overtake riders as I see them, I'm working really, really hard to kind of just maintain this zone 2 and not get carried away. So it's prematurely saying I did it. I probably could have stopped right now. So don't give in if you see you've did it until you've gone through the banner. But I did keep it at a steady pace, and actually instead of 90 minutes, I did end up doing it in 79. And as I go through then, it tells us what my completion time was, and that I've now completed 3 of the 4. And by doing that, I have unlocked the Didi the Devil kit, right? So I've got the jersey and the shorts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump over to my garage, and I'm going to put it on, see what it looks like. And there it is there, that's the Tour Fever jersey that I unlocked after doing stage 1. So I chucked it on just to have a look. Now I'd need to complete stage 4 to get the Devil Horns hat, so I'm going to have to do it now. But now I decide just to keep it in zone 2 and soft pedal all the way down the incline, or the mountain. It's not an incline, this one. Because I could just descend and get the kilometers, but if I keep soft pedaling, then the drops still keep going up as well, because I'm quite drops poor, as you can see there. I've only got 631,000, so by the time I do get my next upgrade, probably 500,000 of that's going to go on that straight away, so then I'm drops poor again. So there's the entrance to the portal then, and as I get through it, I'll just end my ride, but I've managed to add some kilometers and add some more drops. So guys, the end of kind of the second week of this program then, and have I answered the question yet? Is an AI program created for free making me stronger? I've started to see results, I think. So even after week 2, maybe adding these zone 2 workouts in, as well as the high intense stuff that I'm doing, maybe it is working. Only time will tell. So I'm going to have to stick with it, because I've had some good results this week. A win in the ladder race, a pretty decent 6th place finish in the Z Racing, and then a very uncharacteristically strong performance in the CESU Tour. But I'm not expecting to continue on with that. I think I might do quite all right on the next stage on the individual time trial, but then it gets a bit lumpy, and gravity's against me at 89 kilos, so I think short-lived. So on to next week. So I'm gonna get the AI to write me the program, but I'm gonna have to play it by ear a little bit. So I'm expecting to do stage 2 of the CESU Tour on Monday, and then I'm gonna completely rest on Tuesday, because on Wednesday I've got a crit race at Milton Keynes. So that's going to be a first outdoor race in a couple of weeks, and I know that's going to be really fast and intense. I'm expecting to do a ladder race on Thursday. We haven't planned one yet, but we're waiting for the challenges. I think we might have one, and then potentially stage 3 of CESU on Friday. So I don't think there's going to be much room for Zone 2, maybe Saturday and Sunday. I think I'll get the client portal completed with the fourth one. But ultimately, I think the AI is good, but I just need to tailor it to the kind of activities that I'm doing. Well, if you enjoyed this, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, come back for more. See you again. Bye-bye.